gesso before it dries. Just going to push it in here. Make sure all of my those little cracks are done. I'm going to take and put just a little bit more over this that has dried, just to create this ray of light. I'm going to paint in around this. And again, I wish I could say this isn't a paint by number, so I can't tell you paint this here, paint that here. I just want to sort of give you hints and tips that work for me when I'm creating a work like this. Take your brush if it gets too gunky, and that's how you give some cool flavor to your edgings. You see that? Okay, now here I still have too much gesso on. I'm going to come back in. Do you say gesso or gesso? Okay, now I'm going to make some nice big swoops here. Start up and just let my brush go down. If I go crazy on any, I can fix them. I'm not going to sweat and worry. I'm going to take a little bit. I'm going to come down to her face. And I just want to get a little bit of light right in here on her face. A little bit of light. And then, lost my rag. New rag. New old rag. Just going to dab that up because it was too harsh. Dab it up and blend it over. And I might put some little highlights in her hair. Put them in and blend. Little sparks of light in her hair. Don't go crazy on this. You can overdo this so fast and easy. We don't want to do that. Down in here, remember how we had put the bright green down in here? I'm going to take some of the white, the gesso, and just dab over that. And we're not going for specific shapes. If I get any that feel like they're too thick, I can change back into my gesso up there. This should be a big bubble. That curve, I love that curve. It should feel like a big bubble. And don't be afraid to twist your brush. Use different parts of it. It's a beautiful feeling. If there's anything that you feel like, oh, I went a little mad there, just rub it out, brush it out. Blend, blend. Don't be afraid to blend. All of our bottom colors are set right now, so I can quickly change the feel. Now I'm going to take some of my wet brush, get into our pool of gesso here, and that's what I'm doing on this. You see how this is coming up here because it's super glossy underneath. So I'm going to take this, come back to our little friend, and I'm going to put just a little bit of gloss over here. I know you're thinking, Priscilla, you just went crazy. And that's what this is for. Dab, 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 dab. want to take it right down to her arm. And again, please just practice. The more you do, the more you're going to fall in love with just getting creative and just having fun. You can say, oh, I have her fingers too long. I need to check it out. No, you're ready to look at your finger to see how it would go on the curve down here. Do these lines need to be longer, shorter? You know, down here it sort of looks like I have too much on her hand, and I do. Give her arm a little bit. Give her shoulder a little bit more. So thin. Paint this so thin. And if I need to make her arm thinner because her arm looks too short right now. So I'm going to come back and do that. But first I'm going to do a little bit of painting here. You notice I'm doing lots of things that I let dry, and I come back and I do something else. And that's what a lot of times what painting is. So her elbow, this proportion is all wrong. Her elbow needs to come back here further, a lot further. I'll show you how we'll do that. So while this is wet, I'm going to take my brush still not back far enough. Look at how long your arm is compared to your head. Use yourself for this. So I'm going to put a little bit of water on here so I can lift a little bit back up. I like that. It's like she's reaching forward now. That's a lot better. A little bit of that color back here. We'll let that dry and then we'll come back to that. Dab off just a little bit of it. It's so much better though. Her arm needed to be longer. And I'll tell you what, her shoulder might need to be out here a little bit more too. Yes. Don't be afraid to try things and look at them and say, oops, I should have did this longer. I should have made that shorter. Get your proportions right. Nothing makes a painting look weirder, unless you want it to. Unless you're going for that look. So while our mermaid's new arm is drying, I'm going to come back here, and I still have that cool color on here. So I'm going to paint a little bit of that in amongst all these little white lines that I had been doing. I'm going to paint my brush right out. It helps soften those. So this, that looks like a hot little mess, I'm going to dab a little bit. Just a little bit, because I now have it almost perfect. So this is going to be amped up with this. I'm going to shake this so I can paint out of my lid. You paint the way you want to, but I love painting out of lids. I feel like I don't waste paint that way. I feel like if I get a color mixed in there, I'll just take my little rag and clean it out. It's another tip for you. So I'm going to take this, put this in, and look how that soaks up all that paint in my lid. Now here comes the magic. I'm going to dapple it in on this white. And notice I don't want to cover everything with it. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. This thing, which I haven't quite figured out yet exactly what it is going to be awesome. Take a little bit of that, the paint that I have on here. Just put it around a little. Look at how that, oh, that's pretty. I might even do a little, yep. Whole new level of gorgeous and a whole new color. I love that. Okay, let's try another more intense than the last. It is incredible aqua ink, and I'm going to show you why that's so important in just a second. Again, painting from my lid, and watch how, can you see the huge difference in these two yellows? Look at that. Gorgeous. Now I'm going to take I got to be super careful here because this is so intense. This stuff's crazy intense. Just put it right beside where I've gone with our white gesso. I'm just getting some beams. I'm going to take them further down in the painting too because this color is just glorious. I'm going to pick a beam and I'm going to follow it straight out. Again, pick a beam, put my color on, pick a beam, and just follow it straight out. Now you see I'm not painting a thick layer of yellow over here. I'm not doing that. What I'm doing is taking, oh, let me shake this. Do this, another tip. Put your lid back on, give it a shake, and now you have more in your lid. So I'm going to take this intense yellow, find a beam, and just go straight down. I'm going to actually pull this one over our mermaid. Follow the beam. You don't want it to be crooked. You want it to go nice and straight. I'm going to stay away from that arm because we're still working on that. So I'm going to pull the beam further down. The beam of light comes through. And again, pick a beam, pick any beam, and follow it down, straight down. And I'm just going to put a little flash of color in different spots. Maybe I'll take this and pick a little bit up on this bubble. That is stunning. Oh, I'm so glad we did that. Let's do that again. What do you think? This bubble? Let's go for this one. This is the stuff. That's it. I don't want to go too crazy, but I feel like I need to do this little curve. See, I just went too crazy. Do you do that? Went too crazy here. Okay, that's all right. We're going to fix it. We're a little crazy, but that's okay. I'm going to take that and come down on this bubble here that's on her back and put a little hint of that yellow. Those golden bubbles are so beautiful. And put a little more down on this one, a bit on that one. Just feel your way around. And that changes everything. Okay, I love that. I'm so glad I did that. So we're continuing on with a straight line. I might come down and put just a flash going across. If I feel like I get too much, I take my rag and I blot, and that's awesome. I'm going to pull back and let you see the big picture now.